This is the Louie T Network. Hey, either you're outside or you're
in the lab room.
Who else could it be but me, your man? Louie T, welcome. You are in the lab room. Of course, I am your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me. Week number 17 in the National Football League. Arizona Cardinals on the road taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Couple of storylines going into this football game, the biggest of which was Jim Harbaugh coaching his last game as San Francisco 49ers head coach. And really that should be taking a back seat to the Cardinals still having an outside chance at winning the NFC West division. But Harbaugh and that story dominated this ball game, as we all knew that he was not going to be the head coach of the 49ers after this ball game. The question then became, was he going to stay in the NFL and coach in the NFL, or was he going to head to college football once again, and this time coach his alma mater, the Michigan Wolverines? We found out earlier in the day through a couple of reports that he was going back to Michigan, so we already pretty much knew where he was going to go, and that this was in fact his last game as San Francisco 49ers head coach. For the Cardinals, it was a really simple equation for them. Win, couple that with the Seattle Seahawks loss, and you win the NFC West division. Anything else, a tie, a loss, and you would be the 5th seed in the NFC playoffs. I'm going to do this one a little different because I'm going to break this one down with things I liked, things I didn't like from this game. And let's go with the things that I liked. These are some of the things that I like. And the first thing that stood out to me was the 49ers came out and they fought. And I expected this. This isn't something that I should have been surprised, or anybody for that matter should have been surprised about, and that's the fact that they came out and wanted this one for Jim. And I wanted them to come out and play hard and be aggressive and get this last one for Jim because he deserved to go out and win it. Now, I'm not saying that he'll never be back in the NFL because I expect him to come back to the National Football League. To me, he is an NFL head coach. He will get tired of college. He'll go, he'll clean up Michigan. He'll have them winning football games again. And then he'll come back to the NFL because ultimately he wants that prize of being a Super Bowl winning head coach. His brother has done it. He feels like he should be able to do it at the highest level. I expect him to be back eventually. But to see him go out on a high note, I think was very fitting. He's been a playoff coach the entire time he's been in San Francisco. He's been an NFC championship game coach the entire time he's been in the NFL, and he's been to a Super Bowl. So to see him go out with a win, to me, was a fitting end to his San Francisco 49ers coaching career. Another thing that I liked in this game, the aggressive nature of Ryan Lindley. Now, there are a lot of things that I can nitpick at, and I will when I get to the things that I didn't like, but I like the fact that he drove the football down the field. The Ryan Lindley I saw a week ago versus Seattle was very passive, didn't take a lot of shots down the field. Everything was kind of dink and dunk city, more like, I don't want to come in here, make any mistakes, and take my team out of the ball game with some of my errant throws and bad decisions. I'll just take whatever they're giving me. And if they're giving me a 3-yard check down on 3rd and 7, I'll take the 3-yard check down. Wasn't doing that in this game. Threw for over 300 yards, was aggressive, made some throws. I thought he came out and kind of got rid of that shell and threw that off and said, hey, look, I'm here. I'm ready to play football. I think Bruce Arians got in his ear and said, hey, look, man, you're all we got now. There is no savior coming. Drew Stanton isn't coming back. Okay, Carson Palmer isn't coming back. You are the guy. You're our guy moving forward. If we're going to win, it's going to be on your right shoulder. So you got to go out and be more aggressive. And that he was in this game. I like that. That's something that he needs to continue to do moving forward. I like the fact that Michael Floyd got involved in the offense again. I mean, early in the season, this guy was lighting it up. And then he just went through this lull where you didn't even know he was on the field for a while. Good to see him getting back in the mix. He caught 2 touchdowns in this game, over $150 receiving, 8 grabs. He is back in this offense, and he needs to be a fixture in this offense again. To me, he is the big play threat. He is the guy that can make a difference out on the outsides. Larry Fitzgerald only had 2 catches in this game, so we already see where that's going with Larry Fitzgerald, probably playing his last football games in Arizona. Don't know what that situation holds in the offseason, but they quietly phased Larry Fitzgerald out of this offense, and Michael Floyd needs to take over as the alpha dog out wide. And that was good to see him get back in the mix. That was another positive in this game. Things that I didn't like. If you're the Arizona Cardinals, I need you, because Ryan Lindley is your quarterback, I need the defense to step up. And I know there wasn't a lot on the line in this game other than you still having an outside shot, but you knew Seattle was going to win. I mean, just the simple fact that Bruce Arians was going to take the time to allow Logan Thomas to start this game initially until he found out that Drew Stanton had an infection in his knee and was going to need surgery to clean it up. Before that, when he thought he was getting Drew Stanton back for the postseason, he was willing to let Logan Thomas start this game and play this game and had no issues with that. That let me know that he already had conceded the fact that Seattle was going to win this division and that they had their chance and they missed the opportunity. And so he was willing to say, you know what, I'll let the young fella play, get some experience, get his feet wet, see what we have here. But when he found out about Drew Stanton, he understood that, hey, we only have one option left at quarterback, and his name is Ryan Lindley. So I have to get him as many reps as humanly possible to get him ready for the postseason. That's why he switched his starter from Logan Thomas to Ryan Lindley. That being said, you know what's at stake in this game. Whether you think you're going to win the division or not, I need you to be playing some of your best football going into the postseason. I understand the situation you have going on at quarterback, but I need the defense, however, to still be playing top-notch ball. Against San Francisco, what I saw in this game was not top-notch ball. That Anquan Bolden touchdown to start the scoring off for the 49ers in this game, what was that? I mean, didn't get much easier than that. Everybody sucked up on the run. I don't even believe that was a play-action fake play. I do recall Colin Kaepernick stepping up and looking like he wanted to take off with the ball, but that doesn't warrant 8 guys charging the line of scrimmage and leaving Anquan Bolden to walk in the end zone for about a 65-yard touchdown catch. I mean, that was egregious. Something else that really startled me in this game was the amount of rushing yards given up. Look, this Cardinals team has been a defensive juggernaut all season long. This is not the time to start having lapses in concentration on the defensive side of the football. Again, I understand it's the 49ers. It's week 17. Not a lot on the line. Again, you don't know what's going on in the Seattle game, so I need you to come out with a sense of urgency. But besides that, you gave up 200 yards rushing, $144 to Frank Gore, another 63 to Colin Kaepernick. That can't happen. That's over 2 bills in this game. I need you to ratchet it up defensively because that's the only way you're going to win in the postseason. Don't sit here and think for 1 second that you're going to win on just the right arm of Ryan Lindley. That's not happening. You're not winning shootouts. You need to stop teams from scoring and give yourself a chance. The defensive intensity and execution that I saw in this game isn't what I saw from the Cardinals team all season long and isn't what I want to see when the playoffs get kicked underway this weekend. I need this team to step it up. This was a poor performance defensively. That's why you lost this game. Another thing that I didn't like, I talked about Ryan Lindley's aggressiveness, and I did like that. What I didn't like was all of the mistakes that came with the aggressiveness. Look, it'd be one thing if guys were just making outstanding plays. Guys were going out and making extraordinary plays on the defensive side of football, and you just say to yourself, hey, I threw a great ball. That guy was in position. He made a play. I tip my cap to him. These were poor throws into triple coverage, bad decisions, bad throws. Those can't happen. The one throw to Culliver, Bruce Arians even said it himself when he's coming off the field. Who are you throwing the football to? What were you looking at? That was a bad throw. I didn't even see a Cardinal receiver on that play. I don't know if he fell down, if he ran a wrong route, if there was some kind of miscommunication. I hope there was, because that was a bad throw. Another interception. You ask yourself, what are you doing? Why are you throwing the football there and giving the defender a chance to make a play? There were several other plays where receivers had to turn defensive backs and knock passes down, and that last pick to Craig Dahl to pretty much seal the game was another bad decision and bad throw. Look, I like the aggressiveness. I like the fact that you drove the football down the field. I like the fact that you started spreading the ball around to different receivers. I like that you threw for over 300 yards. I don't like 3 interceptions. I don't like the bad sack you took early in the game when your team had the momentum and was in field goal range for more points. And that sack took you out of field goal range, ended up having to punt. Be smart with the football. Make sound decisions. Don't cost your team the football game. Take chances when they're there. When they're not, eat it, throw it away, do something other than turning the football over. And so those are the things that I liked and didn't like in this game. Your end results are 20-17 San Francisco 49ers victory. The final thing that I did like, Jim Harbaugh getting his final Gatorade bath as 49ers head coach. That was neat to see him get that on the way out. Got the game ball, and so he's done as 49ers head coach. Meanwhile, the Cardinals move on to the number 5 seed with this loss, and they'll be taking on the Carolina Panthers in Wild Card Weekend. Like I said, favorable matchup in that game. Both teams really should look at the opponent and say, hey, we should be able to win this game. Neither one of these teams scare anyone right now with the way things have been constructed, and so that will be a very interesting game, to say the least. That's going to do it for Cardinals 49ers. I thank you for joining me. If it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we cover it all here in the Lab Room. Come back and join me as I continue to break down week number 17 in the National Football League. See you in a bit.
In the lab.